I'll certainly be looking at tyres very differently from now on.
Yeah.
Definitely.
They're the bits that touch the ground.
Yeah, it's the only bit that touches the ground. You can have the best car in the world.
You're talking about the literatures out there and
Yeah.
our ratings, because we should be looking at that evidence base for what we're putting on our blue light vehicles.
Yeah, 100%. Well, there is, for example, you can have this, which every tyre has, which is when you purchase it. This is a certification label, so this is how noisy it is, whether it's three-peak mountain snowflake. This is its fuel efficiency, and this is its wet traction performance, wet braking performance. But that doesn't even scratch the surface of, that doesn't tell you how it handles on the car or anything. In my opinion, it's not severe enough. It's nowhere near where what we do. And you're going to learn a lot more when you come to Finland, because we're going to have a significant amount of those tyres that I talked about stored in line. So what we can actually do is I can actually show you how one tyre that looks exactly the same during the development process is totally different. And the UK is probably the worst country for resisting these types of tyres that make a monumental difference. Yeah. And like I say, everyone just goes, "Ooh, it's failed its MOT, what's the cheapest tyre?" Yeah. And for me, it's like, well, you've just now done the worst thing you can possibly do, because as a rule, cheap tyres are cheap for a reason. They don't have the technology in them. If you look on the sidewall, for example, this is a Continental, so this is what we would call a premium tyre. So in here, it will explain to you the materials that are inside the tyre. Okay. There. So it's 1 polyester, 2 steel, and 1 polyamide. Now, polyamide is an aramid, so it's basically Kevlar.
Right, okay, yeah.
Yep.
Now, that might not sound very important, but if you have a tyre which is not at that level, it uses nylon instead, which is fine, but it's not as flexible, it's not as strong, it's not as durable, so that then limits what the tyre company can modify in the tyre. So it's inherently, from its base point, at a sort of lower level in the first place. Yeah. So, you know, something as simple as that, that is why this is then more expensive, because an aramide is more expensive than nylon. And it's not a huge difference really. When you look at the difference in price between what I would call, you know, a premium tyre and a budget tyre, it's not double. And nobody goes, well, I tell you what, and there was an argument when they're in the Shell garage, and it's just cost you 100 quid to fill your car up, then it lasts, what, 400 miles? Whereas your tyres are going to do potentially 40,000 miles.
That's an excellent way of looking at it, and even I don't even think it like that way. Yeah. When you think about how much you spend on fuel, but actually the tyre's going to well outlast that. And if you've got a tyre which is had all this level of effort gone into it, and the way that it's mixed and the way that it's designed, the way its footprint's done, it lasts longer anyway. I'll certainly be looking at tyres very differently from now on.
And if you do fit an all-season or a winter, in the winter, because of its glass transition, they micro-fracture. So this summer tyre wears out more in the winter when it's cold than it does in the summer, because it micro-chips. It's at a tiny level. So if you fit this, it's not micro-chipping, because it's meant for that cold weather. So if you add up the total mileage, swapping the wheels, both of them then last longer, and it well outweighs the purchase of your tyres then. And the cost of 4 of those is significantly less than your insurance excess when you rear end somebody.